But I've rambled for long enough now, so let's get back to the plot. Prince Ymil gets a handmaiden named Murray, who over time develops a deep, loving relationship with him. But the two of them are then taken hostage by the Lotus Empire, and the second act ends with Magnus arriving too late to save them and screaming, YOMIL!
And thus, the third act begins. And we have a lot of plot to cover.
We switch scenes to the King of Palatinus and his other son, Aramis, who are looking for an ultimate power to help them break free of the Lotus Empire, only to have the Lotus Empire burst in and take all control of the kingdom from their hands. It's at this point that we meet the commander of Lotus's forces, Richard the Dragonheart, a name he's so proud of that it pops up every single time he speaks.
Yes, this may seem a little silly, but think about it. The guy is the commander of an imperial army. He can't strike fear into the hearts of his enemies just using his Christian name alone.
You ask for my name? Fools. People who have heard my name have emptied the entirety of their bowels before having a heart attack and dying on the spot. For I am the commander of the greatest imperial army on earth. I am Richard. Yes, cower in fear. For I am the same Richard who has slaughtered billions of soldiers, who has reduced thousands of fortresses to rubble. Hell, even mountains tremble at the sound of my name. Richard! Why are you smirking?
How are you going to take the responsibility of your failure with the revolutionary army? Those who are incompetent do not deserve to exist, even my own brother. Keep that in mind.
Pressure for success coupled with any lack of human feeling. What better foundation for a family bond to be based upon?
Their plan revolves around finding the Temple of Brefe, which is essentially a gateway to the Netherworld, which, whilst being the place where all evil resides, is also the place where they can gain the ultimate power. Anyway, they plan to use Ymil to open the temple since it's rumoured that he is a child of the Covenant, and force him to eat the fruit of the Netherworld, which makes him so powerful he's able to beat up the guards and escape. Whoops. Things get even worse for Lotus since our heroes quickly discover their plan and stop them at every single turn, forcing them to take drastic measures. Failure. So our heroes quickly kick their ass and dismiss the whole thing as a wild goose chase. But then... So the fourth and final act begins with demons flooding into the world of the living, and Ymil driving Lotus out of Palatinus and declaring himself king, before declaring that he plans to summon Danika, who is the demigoddess of the earth and fertility, and also happens to be queen of the Netherworld. It's complicated. I bet you feel like a chump for thinking this is a wild goose chase now, don't you, Magnus? Magnus is struck with a decision, since on the one hand he wants to save the kingdom, but on the other hand he doesn't want to fight Ymil. The only way to make a decision is to face his doubts, and of course space out in the flashbacks.
You're so strong, Magnus. I want to be strong too. Ymil? No way! You're such a wuss, and you cry a lot too.
Well, thank you, you little prick. You've just gone and given Ymil the confidence issues which then led him to going to the freaking underworld and summoning demons and dooming the kingdom to an entire millennium of darkness. Thank you, you little smart-ass git!
This all leads up to a big battle where Magnus and his battalion march on the capital and defeat Ymil. And thanks to the power of friendship, Magnus is able to convince Ymil that summoning an ancient demigoddess is not the way to save the world. It looks like everything will be okay from now on.
Don't leave me. Ymil, please don't go!
Oh no.
He's mine. Nobody else can have him!
No one said... Oh.
Ymil. No!
Oh, now you regain your senses!
Yeah. Emil dies, leaving Magnus on these simple parting words.
Come back. Promise me that you'll come back to me. You are
Tragic. And unintentionally amusing. Anyway, the revolution is a success, but Magnus leaves in order to prevent Danika's resurrection. And after Lotus takes some time out to sort out some family issues, they decide to go with their B plan of using Mari to summon Danika. What happens after she's summoned? Actually, that's a good question.
sealed solely to be blessed by her, so that I gain the ultimate power. And then I will kill the god. I'll kill Danika.
Could you say that again?
And then I will kill the god. I'll kill Danika.
You can't be serious.
Don't forget, Danika is only a demigoddess. I doubt that she is immortal. I will become a legend and be remembered as a god.
Baldwin, I think I should probably explain something. This is something you haven't been able to grasp yet. You see, generally, when a god gives someone a blessing, it's usually a fraction of their power. That makes you stronger than the average human. But it still puts you several miles away from demigod! Seriously, has this been the basis of Lotus's entire plan? Just getting a blessing from the goddess and then using that to kill her? I'm sorry, but there are so many flaws with that plan. If this is the intelligence of their commanding officers, then how the hell did Lotus get this far?
So our heroes kick ass and Baldwin runs away. Whilst all this is going on, Mari inadvertently summons Danika. But everything seems to be going really well, as the two of them are forming some kind of strange connection. Oh, you can guess where this is going.
My goddess Danika, I'm the one who awakened you. Bless me. Grant me the ultimate power.
You see, there was a tiny flaw in the plan.
What was that, sir?
It was bollocks.
So Danika goes insane due to all the chaotic thoughts around her. Magnus defeats her and everything's restored. Kind of. It depends on Chaos Fame.
What's Chaos Fame, you ask? You'll need to take notes. Chaos Fame is an off-screen meter, but it has a big impact on the game. The only confirmed way to raise it is to make sure that you liberate a village instead of capturing it. Now, to liberate a village, you have to make sure that the alignment of your unit between Chaos and Lawful is at the right point to match a village's morale. A unit's alignment often changes depending on who they fought, so you have to make sure that your units fight the enemies at the right level and the right alignment. And it's this entire system which not only decides your ending, but also decides what characters will be available to you. And it's a system which I can sum up with one sound.
If you have a low Chaos Fame, Magnus is barred for being violent and dangerous, Frederick is killed in a later war, the kingdom goes to hell, and a baby pops out of Mari's dead wound and kills him back. Wait, what?! This is the 4th time I reincarnated. Moving on. If you have medium or high Chaos Fame, however, Magnus learns politics from Frederick, the other party members reunite a few years later, and Magnus becomes king after Frederick dies, leading Palatinus into a new era of greatness.
And so we've come to the end of Ogre Battle 64. So what are my final thoughts?
There are many things I like about Ogre Battle 64. The story is interesting and has many intelligent moments, and it has many options for interaction and replay value. That said, the characterization can be a little weak at times, and there are many dumb moments that will make you laugh out loud. Plus, the slow pace may put some people off, but personally, I really enjoy it.
In short, I'd say it's like a history textbook. There's loads of interesting people and events, but it may not be the most exciting read. I've been the Jonin Monkey. Hopefully I've taken game announcement to the next level with this one. Cheerio.
Oh, look at me! I'm taking it to the next level! Puh. Has anyone ever told you what an annoying douche you are, Jonin? Not only
Did you have the gall to make me look like an idiot in the Twilight Princess of you? But you now have me making fun of my own name! And it wasn't even that funny of a joke! But two can play this game, can't they, Jonin? Yes. If you can humiliate and break me, a respectable knight, for the sake of your comedy, then I can return the favor by humiliating and breaking you! Yes. I'll just play the role of a goofball sketch character, and you will never suspect a thing until suddenly I turn the tables on you, maybe through some contrived series of events that lead me to showing you psychological torments the likes of which you've never seen, or maybe I'll just play you a bad game. Who knows? The point is, you will not be able to sit on that sofa and be smug for very long, because I will get my revenge!
Just so you know, I can hear everything you're saying. And whilst that was a good monologue, you may want to keep them down a little bit.
Well, fudge.